This weekend, we left the bustle of Athens behind and journeyed into Greece's green heart where the clouds kiss mountaintops and time slows down to the rhythm of nature. Join me as we cross the iconic Rio-Antirrio Bridge and wind our way up to Ano Chora, a hidden alpine village draped in fir forests, wild orchids, and soulful silence. Expect hikes through enchanted forests, stays in charming lodges, and a magical glimpse into a Greece few have seen. Our journey began on a sunny Friday afternoon, cruising westward out of Athens. After about 3 hours on the highway, we crossed the spectacular Rio-Antirrio Bridge, an engineering marvel linking Peloponnese with the mainland Greece. From Nafpaktia, the road curled its way into the mountains for about an hour, one curve more breathtaking than the last. As we climbed, the air grew fresher, the scenery greener, and anticipation higher. Welcome to Nafpaktia. Hi guys, I'm in Nafpaktia now. We just arrived, so it was like about a 4-hour drive. It's up above from Nafpaktia, which is a beautiful place in Greece. I've been here before several times, and the mountains are gorgeous. We've just arrived to our hotel, and I've been invited here to explore the wild orchids, and we're going to be doing that tomorrow. I look forward to sharing this weekend with you. Welcome to Crystal Mountain Hotel. More than just a place to stay, this is a story of revival and heart. Back in the 1980s, when the mountain village of Ano Chora was slowly emptying out, one man, Yorgos Papagiannidis, returned from America with a dream: to breathe life back into the village he loved. His vision wasn't just about building a hotel, it was about building hope. He inspired the community to bring electricity, water, and even build roads. What began as a modest guest house with 10 rooms soon grew, thanks to his sons Nikos and Paul, into a vibrant mountain resort. One summer evening in 1991, the pool was dug. Then a top floor was added, expanding the rooms to 60. The Crystal Guest House opened its doors in 1992, and the village came alive. Today, the Crystal Mountain Hotel is a true alpine retreat, 50 warm and welcoming rooms in earthy tones, a restaurant that blends tradition with modern flair, a mountain-fed pool, a playground, gym, basketball court, palm track for young cyclists, and even a tiny chapel tucked into the firs. But this place is more than its comforts. It's a gateway to experiences, from jazz concerts under chestnut trees and autumn chestnut harvests, to summer hikes, waterfall swims, folklore tours, mushroom foraging, and kids' nature adventures. It's a celebration of life in the mountains. And now, with the creation of Kravara Park, an expansive network of hiking and biking trails in partnership with the Petrina Guest House, the legacy continues, inviting explorers from all over Greece. Crystal Mountain is not just where you sleep, it's where you breathe deeper, laugh louder, and reconnect with what matters. And as for its name, when Grandpa Yorgos ran restaurants in America, he called them Crystal. The name stayed with him like a promise, and now it welcomes new generations to this mountain he never gave up on. Today, his grandson Andreas continues that legacy with heart, hospitality, and a deep-rooted passion for sharing the beauty of Ano Chora, keeping his grandfather's dream alive. Just a short walk from Crystal Mountain, we made our way to the Petrina Guest House, a rustic gem built of stone and soul. This is where we met Dimitris, the heart of the place. Dimitris left behind city life in Athens to return to his roots. Both his parents are from the village, and his love for his land is deep and contagious. Here he does it all, from lighting your fireplace and making your coffee to sharing a glass of tsipora with conversations that wander from life in the mountains and beyond. Hospitable, wise, and full of warmth, Dimitris doesn't just run a guest house, he creates connection. And the Petrina feels less like a hotel and more like a home you've somehow always belonged to.
Όχι ρε, καλύτερη.
We ended our day with a delicious dinner at Korifes, the restaurant of Crystal Mountain Hotel. The warm dining hall welcomed us with a scent of slow-cooked comfort food. We started with handmade pies, golden flaky and filled with seasonal goodness. I then tried the pappardelle with wild mushrooms and tender beef, a dish that truly captures the earthy flavors of the mountain. Fresh, local ingredients, heartfelt cooking, and a table full of stories, the perfect way to end the day. Saturday morning began in the most serene way. Just me, a cup of warm tea, and the stillness of the mountains. Their air was crisp, the birds were already singing, and the only thing louder than nature was the silence itself. Good morning, guys. So this is day one, and we are up in Nafpaktia. Look at the view behind, it's beautiful. So we're ready to start our hike soon, and we're going to find wild orchids. I'm really looking forward to showing you the beauty of the natural environment here in Greece. A little later, we walked to Tapetrina, our meeting point for today's hike. It's more than just a guest house, it's a little village of hospitality in itself. There are charming double rooms and cozy maisonettes, ideal for couples or families. You'll also find standalone stone cottages and a smaller guest house nearby with additional rooms. For mornings like this, there's a dedicated breakfast area, and for relaxed afternoons, the Cafe Neraidopigi Fairy Spring offers coffee with a view. There's also a recreation space, an outdoor fireplace perfect for cooler nights, and even archery for the adventurous. With 2 private parking areas, bicycle rentals, and all the mountain charm in the world, Tapetrina is the kind of place that feels like it was built to help you slow down and reconnect. We began our hike led by Professor Nikolaos Moustakas from the Agricultural University of Athens, a specialist in soil science who has spent over 20 years studying the wild orchids of his native village as a deeply personal passion. This year, the orchids were late to bloom. Spring had taken its time, but that made our visit all the more special. Blooming season here typically begins in March and can stretch into August, depending on the species. And now at last the forest floor was coming to life. Every step the professor introduced us to a world most never see. Orchids like the Orchis genus have evolved in extraordinary ways. Some, like the Orchis provincialis, are sun lovers with soft, yellowish tones and a subtle, almost mysterious charm. Their lip often bears a gentle, velvety texture with patterns that mimic insects, designed not for beauty but for survival. They attract pollinators with scent and illusion. We also spotted the mountain-loving Orchis spitzelli, a rare gem thriving in the cool shadows of the firs. With tall, upright stems and delicate purple-pink blooms, it exudes a quiet elegance. The central lobe of its lip is distinctly shaped, making it one of the most distinguishable species among mountain orchids. Then came members of the Orchis family like Orchis mascula, with its vivid purple blossoms thriving under the cool forest canopy. Each orchid has a distinct identity, yet they all share a unique structure: 3 sepals, 3 petals, and a central lip, or labellum, often the showpiece of the flower. Professor Moustakas shared that within just a 3-kilometer radius of Ano Chora, over 12 genera and 26 species of orchids have been documented. Beauty may be subtle, but once seen, they stay with you. As the path curved gently downhill, the sun flickered through the firs and time seems to soften. And then we saw it, a traditional mountain house, built entirely of stone without a single drop of cement. After a morning spent among orchids and towering firs, we wandered down toward the heart of the village. It's a small central square. Air was filled with the scent of grilled meat. We sat at a traditional taverna, the kind where time stands still and food is prepared with patience. First came the slow-cooked lamb, fall of the bone tender, rich and comforting. Then the star of the table, perfectly grilled lamb chops, charred just right, juicy and seasoned with nothing more than salt, oregano and a touch of mountain air. The real magic wasn't just in the flavors, it was in the company. What started as a quiet lunch turned into a memory we'll be talking about for years. We laughed until we cried, truly cried, those deep belly laughs that leave you breathless, leaning on the table, tears rolling down your cheeks. It wasn't just a meal, it was one of those rare golden moments that make you feel full in every sense of the word. After lunch, we followed the cobblestone streets that weave gently through the village, each one echoing stories of the past. As we walked, we passed by the church of Agia Paraskevi, founded in 1918. It stands out with its humble grace and landmark among the smaller chapels scattered across Ano Chora, and a quiet guardian of local history. A little further down the path, we came across something truly unexpected, an old time-worn bus, sitting proudly as if still waiting for its next route. This wasn't just any bus. Locals call it Carnavalos, a legendary vehicle that once connected Ano and Kato Chora, carrying people, livestock, and goods through these winding mountain roads. Carnavalos is also a movie star. It famously appeared in the 1979 British war film Escape to Athena, directed by George P. Cosmatos, with a cast that included Roger Moore, David Niven, and Telly Savalas. Our next stop was the Folklore Museum of Ano Chora, housed in the building which used to be a school, a humble yet deeply moving space where the past still lingers in every corner. The first thing Andreas showed us were old black and white photographs of these very mountains, bare, stripped of the firs we had just hiked through. Before the 1950s, the forest was sacrificed to the charcoal trade. Timber was life. Entire families made their living producing coal, using handmade kilns to fuel the country's railways. It was back-breaking work, but essential. What we see today, the dense green canopy, is nature healing over time. Inside, our host and unofficial village historian took us on a heartfelt journey through the everyday life of generations past. Among the most touching traditions was the preparation of a girl's dowry, which began from a very young age. Girls would learn how to spin wool into thread, and then, with the help of their mothers and grandmothers, weave the thread into intricate carpets, blankets, and garments. One display featured a bridal chest brimming with hand-woven carpets, delicate embroidery, and the soft scent of cedar. The museum also held tools once used in the fields, pots blackened by fire, and instruments that had echoed through village festivals. Andreas didn't just explain the items, he brought them to life, sharing the soul of the people who once used them. Our visit ended in the most heartwarming way, gathered together with warm cups of sahlepi, sweet tiganites, and shared laughter echoing through the crisp mountain air. Now here's something important to know. Sahlepi was once made from the powdered roots of wild orchids and believed to be an aphrodisiac. But today, the sahlepi we drink comes from orchids harvested in Turkey. In Greece, wild orchids are a protected species, and it is strictly forbidden to pick or uproot them. Their beauty is meant to be admired, never taken. So we're trying sahlepi, which is the drink made of orchids, and it's actually good for your throat. So let's try it. It's a very interesting taste. I can't exactly describe it. It's not too sweet. It's like a paste kind of thing. Cheers. So we're trying tiganites, which are like local pancakes, and they're like fried out, made with sahlepi, the one we had in the drink, and it's like rolled in lots of sugar. Let's try it. It's nice, it's crunchy. And and sweet. It's like a donut. I like it, it's good. In the evening, we enjoyed a quiet evening of pizza and wine at the Tapetrina Hotel and called it a night. Sunday morning arrived gently, wrapped in golden light and stillness. We enjoyed breakfast slowly, savoring each bite, each sip, and each quiet moment. The mountains whispered through the firs, and time seemed to pause. In a world that rarely stops, the silence was a gift. Good morning. So it's day 2 of our experience here in Ano Chora of Nafpaktia, and we are going to continue with a second hike. We're going up to the mountains on a mountain trail to see if we can spot more orchids today. It's a little cooler today, so there's a little bit of wind. It will be more refreshing. So stay tuned as we adventure through the mountains. We're in the woods now and we're starting our hike. We're going to spot wild orchids. Amber, are you excited?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Good morning! There's a place in the mountains above Ano Chora that feels like it's been lifted from the pages of a fairy tale. One of the many trails led us into what the locals call the Enchanted Black Forest, a name that fits it perfectly. Called black not because of color, but because of how densely the fir trees grow, all stretching upwards, racing for sunlight. Their side branches are bare, their crowns high above us, creating a vaulted canopy of green that filters the light into gold. It feels ancient, primeval even, but the truth is, this forest is only a few decades old. These firs are nature's quiet miracle, a self-reclaimed landscape after the age of charcoal burning. Andreas, always full of stories, pointed out a tree that stopped us in our tracks. Fir trees usually have a single peak, but this one had 7 spiraling upward like a mythical crown. According to the local legend, this was the tree where the witch Slava once lived, a mysterious forest spirit who watched over the woods. The way the light touched its branches, you almost believed it. From here, you can follow the path of the deer, winding gently through the forest and connecting to the path of the orchids, a short and rewarding loop ideal for orchid spotting in the spring and early summer. Whether you're walking for an hour or for a full day, the paths here are thoughtfully marked, color-coded, and well-maintained. But hiking isn't the only way to explore Kravara's mountains. This region, still called Kravara by locals, is also home to an impressive mountain biking scene. A team of passionate volunteers led by George Kaltsis and Dimitris Papadimitriou of Tapetrina have carved out a true playground in the forest, Kravara Bike Park. Spanning around 30 kilometers of biking and hiking trails, the park features everything from gentle curves to high adrenaline descents. So we're in the Black Forest now. Actually, there's no orchids here now because the weather has been too not ideal, basically, for the orchids, so they'll come out later. So we didn't get to spot any.
Close to each other, and they're competing against each other to go and reach the sun. So they send all the energy up to the top to reach the sun, and they leave the branches without any green, any leaves.
Trails are short, under a kilometer. Others stretch nearly 3. They're ranked by difficulty, and there are even black trails for the daring. A few have built-in ramps, and one drops nearly 400 meters in elevation. But don't worry, there's a bike shuttle to help you reach the top. After our forest adventure, we sat down once more for lunch, this time to try a true local staple, macaroni pie, rich, rustic, and baked to perfection. It was comfort food at its finest. As we were finishing, we ran into Professor Moustakas, joined by his cousin Nikos and a lively group of friends. The atmosphere turned spontaneous. Someone picked up a tune, and soon we had a private concert of heartfelt mountain songs echoing through the tavern like a warm embrace. Cousin Nikos, with a cheeky grin, joked that he's looking for a partner to share his days. After nearly 40 years in the US, he's returned to retire in the village he still calls home, and it shows in every twinkle of his eye. It was one of those unexpected moments, unplanned, unpolished, and absolutely unforgettable. As our weekend in Ano Chora came to a close, we left with full hearts and unforgettable memories. A huge thank you to our gracious hosts and every local who welcomed us with stories, smiles, and song. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow along for more inspiring escapes and hidden gems across Greece and beyond. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep exploring.